Alright guys, the first thing we need to do is get this whole bezel, get this whole thing off right here. And you notice this had a cover right here, but it's missing. We're going to definitely be replacing that at one time or another. But let's get this done. First of all, we got a molding right here. This little rubber weather stripping. Just pull that off, get it out of your way. The next thing you want to do is that you got this little piece right here, like a locking piece of plastic that locks both pieces together, and that's all you have to do is slide it back that way. Let me get on that side. Go. What I do is just pick up this little tab right here and slid it back. Now that's out of the way. Now we got some plastic clips. I was hoping to get those out. That's done. This one separates these two. But what I might try to do is take up the whole thing all as one piece. So let me put this down. And what we're gonna be doing the party line. Let me show you what that means. This is the first piece we took off right here. So what I'm gonna do is come out here. Every time you take a piece off on a car, you put it, start your line. This was the second piece. Put it in the line. That way, when you go to put this job back together, you start from this end of the line and work your way back. And even your bolts, you do that too. So in that way, you don't lose no parts, you don't make a mistake and put a part on, then you gotta take something off to put it on. That is called the party line. You definitely want to get with it on that. Get jiggy with it. All right, let's go back over here to the car. We'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing you're going to do, grab you a T25 torque socket. I got a T25 with a 1/4-inch drive, and I got my cordless drill right here with my adapters on it so I can play with, put sockets on it all. And I got a reducer, 3/8 to 1/4 inch. And I got two bolts right here. One right here. That I'm going to take up. And one right on the other side. Right there. All right, let's go back over to the driver's side. Put those screws to the side. Now over here, you're gonna have a little plastic piece right here, the covering. Just pull that up, get that out of your way. Now this whole section right here, because you can see it's separated right here, it's gonna come up, pull it out that way. See this right here? It sets into this little opening right over here. So we take this, put this to the side in our party line, and we are looking good. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're on the other side. First thing we're gonna do, let's disconnect our hood sensor, and there's another sensor right there. And that's all you have to do is pull that little latch, that little tab, push it down, and unplug it. Both sensors, down, unplug it, lean that to the side. The next thing you wanna do is, you see this little bar right here? That's a little latch, and it's holding down the cabin air filter. So that's what you do, just pop that off to the side, and it goes up under here, under these holes right here, the openings. So just pick it up, pull it forward. There you go, everything gonna come out from there. Now, I'm gonna show you something very important that wasn't...
You had to actually, on the other side, you had to remove that too, but this one was missing it.
Right, somebody did something over there, I have no idea. Also, that's a good thing you asked that question, because also I noticed on the side,
I know.
This piece right here came up really easy, and it's not supposed to. You see how this is holding down? It's not supposed to. What you're gonna do, you got 3 plastic 13mm bolts here, and actually what's under there is little latches that holds this down to there. So what you gotta do is take your 13mm deep, 13mm socket with a 6-inch extension, and you just wanna take those till they counterclockwise, till they just stop. Don't keep turning because you will break it. And pick it up. See how easy that came up? Let me show you. And then same thing over here. It's got that little plastic piece. Pick it up from there. Pull it out. Put that right there. Pick it out. Same thing over there. This piece right here goes into there. Now let's turn this over. You see those right there, guys? Those latches, those turn and holds this down, keeps this locked down. And those over there wasn't even on anything. Good thing I saw that. All Alright, let's put this to the side and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we'll do to make it easier for us, I'm going to remove this bar. Now you don't have to, but I am definitely getting this out of the way. So this got a wiring harness held on right here to this plastic cover. And this plastic cover, they're actually supposed to be clips holding this down. I'm not sure why not, there are. But the other part just hugs onto it, so you just pull it out just like that, just to get that out to the side. Now we're going to got 4 T45 sockets. 1, 2, 3, and 4 over there. So I'm going to get my T45 socket, 3/8 drive, with my cordless drill. I'm going to go ahead and take all 4 of them out. We'll be right back. Alright guys, got all the 4 bolts out. All 4 bolts are the same length. So that's good. You don't got to worry mixing them up. Take our bar. Oh, that little wire, little loom over here. And instead of trying to pull it out, I'm going to try to unplug it. Try to unlatch it some kind of way. There it is, right at the bottom. Right at the bottom. Latches on, get that out of the way. Let's get our bar out of the way. And we can either, over here on the party line, we can either put this down right here along with the bolts, which I'm going to do, or you can take the bolts and put them back in there. Alright, we're going to move on to the next section. We'll be right back. Alright guys, let's get to it. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to have to remove our whole air cleaner assembly. Now, I'm going to disconnect it from right here down by the throttle body. You see that there's a clamp right there holding on the air tube. And that, you can use either a flat screwdriver, or what I like to use better is a 6mm socket. So I got a 6mm deep 1/4" drive and got my 1/4" drive ratchet. And what I'm going to do is go down here and loosen up that clamp. And once I get it loosened up enough, I can take the ratchet off and just turn it by hand. Alright, so I'm going to loosen that. I loosened that up some, but not as much as I'm going to. Got that loose. Next thing we do, you got this pipe right here. This is plastic. So let's get that out of the way before we mess that up. And you got a little clip over here that's holding it on. And the only thing you have to do, if you notice, you see a little part up there, you got to squeeze that down, and the one on the bottom, you got to squeeze that up. So you got to squeeze both ends together at the same time and unplug it. Don't pull it yet, because it's going into a little clip right here. So then you get it out of the way. Make sure that it's out of your way. Next thing, air cleaner assembly. Pop the 2 latches up. Get that out of the way, just like that. One over here. Push that down. Get that out of the way to make sure there's no other else. Good. Now we got our mass airflow sensor right here. We got to disconnect our mass airflow sensor. And you can see it's held on by a little bitty tab right there. So what I got to do is get me a little small screwdriver and just pick that up and back that up and unplug it. Move that down to the side. Alright, let me loosen up that clamp some more, and then we're going to take this assembly up. Be right back. Alright guys, we are ready. Now let's pick our air cleaner assembly up and wiggle it, get it off of that throttle body, and take the whole thing up. Check that out. But we're not done yet. Let's put this down to the side, because what we want to do now, I want more room here. So I want to remove the complete air cleaner assembly, which I could have just left this bolted down. But it's okay. So let's see what we got. 1, 2 bolts. Looks like it's holding it down. Let's see what size these are. Okay, a T30. So I'm gonna get my T30 socket. Take these up. See if it comes up. Great, right out of the way. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put my bolts back in here instead of me having bolts everywhere. Alright guys, we are looking great. Put this to the side and I'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get this done. The next thing we're gonna do, let's disconnect our throttle body. Now, disconnect our throttle body. On this side of the connector right here, there's a little tab. You gotta squeeze that tab in and unplug it. This might be a little bit difficult to get to, but okay. There's the tab right there. You're gonna push that tab down and unplug it. Let's get that out of the way. The next thing we're gonna do, let's get this little piece of the harness right here. And this went to some other car, but it's not to this one. So we ain't gotta worry about that. And on the top of here, you're gonna see a little piece that's sticking up right there. Bring that piece over to the right and push it down. Over to the right and push it down. Now, if you got connectors there to your vehicle, make sure you unplug them and make sure you mark them to where they go.
You push to the left.
Push to the right. To the right. Here. Let me plug it back up for CV. All right. Grab it on this side and push it to the right. All right.
Okay.
Let's get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. The next thing we're going to do is now somebody had something apart over here because I can see that they broke this right here. It's supposed to hold this harness on. I guess because they know what the heck they're doing. Get that same flat screwdriver right here on this little clip right here. Put your screwdriver between there and you're gonna just open the latch up and pop that up just like that. Get it out of the way. The next thing you're gonna do, you got a little map sensor up here that's connected. Squeeze the tab in and unplug it. Just like that. Get that out of the way. And now we got both of them out of the way. This is in the way, dang it. I don't know why they got that like that. The next thing we're going to do is go up here to the top. You're going to need a 5mm Allen socket. You got 1, 2, and back here 3 and 4. It looks like those two are out. But let me get the socket for that. Alright, using a 5mm Allen socket, 1/4" drive. Go ahead. 1, 2, and there should be 2 back there. To take this cover, the whole cover of the engine, take it right off. Let's put this to the party line, and we'll be right back. Because when we come back, we're going to be in the back of the vehicle because we got to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. Be right back. All right, guys, on the back of the car, take this shield right here, this cover. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me pick this up a little bit. Get that out of the way. All right, get that down. Put this to the side. And that's all we're going to do is take a 10mm 1/4" drive socket with your 1/4" drive ratchet, and you want to loosen up the nut on the negative side, not the positive side, on the negative side. Loosen it up enough. The terminal is going to loosen. Take it off. Take it off. Dang it. Take it off and put it to the side. You want to make sure you tuck it down there so it don't come back and touch that while you got things disconnected up there, or you will cause a short. All right, let's get back up to the front. We'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do, get you a T25 socket, 1/4" drive, and you got a little bolt right over here. And this is holding on to the fuel line. So what you want to do is just bolt that. That thing's going to go to the side, and what we're going to do is put our bolt back. Or it actually is like a screw. Put it back in there so we don't lose that. The next thing we're going to do is here's our plugs for our injectors. Are they for the injectors? No, I don't know what they're for. What we're going to do is unplug 1 and 2 because they got to go through the intake. Can't get the intake off without it. So push the little tab down. Unplug it. You got the one over here, same thing. Push it down, unplug it, and it's going into a little loop right here. So you want to just get it unplugged, get it out of the way, get it out of the way, get it out of the way, and we can just drop that right down into the intake. Remember that when we're putting that back together, then you'll be wondering where the heck it's at. The next thing we're going to do is get a 6-inch extension with a 10mm deep socket and our cordless drill. You're going to have, let's unplug this right here. Is this broken? Oh, no. Let's get this sensor out of the way. On the other side of this, I'll show you in a minute. There's a little spring, little metal clip. Push the metal clip up and unplug it. There it is right there. So you just push that in and unplug it. All right, let's get that out of the way. Now, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10mm bolts. Well, actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts and 3 nuts. So we'll get our 10mm. My bad. It's not a 10mm. Dang it, it's over here. 11mm. What we're gonna do right here is go with the bolts first. So let's get all the bolts out, and we'll be right back. All right, we got 4 bolts out. All 4 bolts are the same length, so you don't have to worry about that. Next thing we're gonna do is we got the 3 nuts. 1, 2, and 3.
You are a nut. So we have 4 nuts.
What? Oh boy, you know what? I'm trying to concentrate on this job and teach these people something.
And 1.
All right, 3 nuts. Let's put this to the side, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got those out. The next thing we want to do, make sure everything is good over here. No, we got a little positive wire right here, big battery cable. Let's get this from this clip over here. Okay, now let's move this around and see what we got. Wow, this thing is a mess. Alright, I'm gonna look down here and see what we got holding this on. I got a wire here. This right here. I can see our starter down there though. Gotta make sure everything. This thing right here is all in our way.
Can you, if you could move it back a little bit.
Let's see, I got that little one. See, there's something else that's still holding this thing down from coming in. Coming out of here. Notice I'm taking it careful. I'm looking up under here. I got a whole wiring harness and everything hooked up. Look like a bunch of hoses or something. Up under here. You know what, guys? Let's put this. Let's put this back down there for a minute. Let's set this back down where it belongs. Because what I want to do, I want to disconnect that throttle body. So we're going to set this back and be right back. Alright guys, I'm trying to feel what the heck is going on here. Man, wait a minute, we got the alternator plug. Let's unplug the alternator. Let's push this tab back. Unplug that, get that out of the way. And what's this? This is a vacuum line right here. Same thing on this one. Let's squeeze these tabs together on each side and unplug it. Dang it, man, that thing is... tight. Okay, let's try it now. Got that disconnected, got that disconnected. Make sure that's all out of the way. Okay, there's got to be something else holding me back. Oh, it's this harness that's actually stupid harness. And then I got this battery cable went right back onto that clip. Stupid. You know, BMW, man. Okay, let's hold that up in the air for a minute. Unhook that battery cable. Of course it won't come out. I should have pushed that thing down to the side. Okay, there. Ah, man, this sucks. No, it's almost out. So we gotta figure out what the heck else is holding this on. Is it this?
What is that? Oh, that's legit.
Everything is off of there.
Oh, wait a minute. This wire right here, this right here, and you can't.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I see it. It's another clip back here that's holding on the fuel line. Pass me the flat screwdriver. Guys, I'll be right back. Let me get a flat screwdriver. Alright guys, I got my fuel line disconnected over here, but as I'm picking it up, you know, where's my light at? I'm going to show you two. This whole harness and all right here is held on by a bracket. There's a bolt right there, a T30, and one right on the other side, T30. So I'm going to unbolt those from the intake. And what I'm going to use is my big bill ratchet with a 4-inch 3/8 drive extension and my T30 Torx. Let's go down here and get this one first. Dang it, I'll get it. Let's go over here to this one. Okay. Put this down. Look at that. Now the problem now is it we got a hose right here that's going up and it's going behind the throttle body. So you telling me I gotta take off the throttle body? Dang it! All right, that looks like 10mm bolts. All right, let's see here. I got my 10mm deep. Yep. Let's take these 4 bolts out and we'll be right back. All right, get my last bolt out, all on the same length. Take it off, make sure, oh, this gasket is great. All right, let's put this to the side. And if you look over here, you'll see I'm talking about that vacuum line. So what I gotta do now is disconnect that. How? You got 2 tabs on each side. So I gotta somehow get on the other side and be able to squeeze that tab in.
From here.
Can't get in there. Well, let's see, maybe I could try both my hands at the same time. And back that off. Nope, not gonna work. Not gonna work. All right, let me get a pair of hose pliers, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys, you can see it from that side. I got my hose pliers right here. This sucks, trying to get this thing. Dang it. Why would there you go. Finally. Alright. Now let's see what intake come up out of here.
Yes, but plug right there.
How many plugs are on this thing? That thing comes with some. I should be able to still swing this thing out of here. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Oh man, look at this mess right here. Alright, what we got here? We got this hose assembly going right here. Down into here. Over. Oh man, to sit there and try to unplug. Can we unplug that from over there? Instead of coming all over here. Got this big breather tube right there. So let's see if I can get my hose pliers. And that's going to be that is a tight fit right there, guys. Dang it. Alright, so how about one side I'll use the screwdriver to squeeze that one in, and my other side I'll use a finger. Yeah, figures. Instead of me disconnecting from over there 2 times, I'd like to get right there. You know, that thing. Oh, dang it, dang it, dang it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we got that disconnected. Now let's see if we can bring this out here. All right, we got one plug right here. Which, you know what, guys? I'm just going to lean this whole intake over to the side like this and let it rest. And there's our starter. Yeah, buddy. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do, let's disconnect the S wire to the starter. That's the starter coming from the neutral safety switch or ignition switch. Just going to pull that tab in, that clip in, and unplug it. The next thing we got is a 13mm nut. So I'm going to use my 13mm deep with my 4-inch extension, my big bill ratchet. Pop that off, lean that to the side, and we'll put the nut back up there. Now, this starter is held in by 2 bolts, reversible Torx, one right here and one in the back coming through that way, which is really stupid. So we're gonna use our B14 reversible Torx with a swivel head ratchet, and I'm gonna get down like this, try to get in there like this. And you can see I'm turning it little by little. And the reason why I'm doing the top one first is because it should, and right now it's really kind of loose. So now let's get our socket off of there. And we should be able to reach back there and turn this by hand, hopefully. This sucks. Heck no, I can't. Which really... Alright, so that ain't working. That ain't working at all. Get my straight ratchet. Dang, well, yeah, maybe. Turn it a little bit more. Nope. Back to the swivel ratchet. You know, it's like, did they really design this mess to do this? You put a bolt backwards? Then this thing is just turning. The head of the ratchet's turning on me. Alright, let me get that socket off of there. I'm about to drop down there and I'm looking crazy in the face. Alright, let's put this back up there. And what I see right now, what I'm going to have to do is sit here and slowly, and that's weird, because I mean, I'm hit, I just tapped it. Oh, okay, I am turning it. It's taking a long time, but I am turning it little bit by little bit. Alright guys, I'm going to sit here and turn it, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got the bolt out. I'm not taking it out, I'm going to leave it right there. So easy to put it back in. The next thing I'm going to do, I got my B14 socket, reversible Torx, and a 6-inch 3/8 drive extension. And let's get this last one on over here. Alright, now that I got it loose, let's change over to the big bill ratchet. Alright, do we have success? Huh. Dang, that thing's stuck in there. I was about to curse or something. There we go, guys. There's our starter. Let's go get the new one, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, here we go. Got our new starter. Match it up. Everything look good. This is definitely made in Hungary, man. Bosch. Yeah, that's the original starter. There's the BMW. That's the BMW logo right there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, let's get this set in. I'm tired of playing around. All right, get our starter over here. Let's set our starter in there. And I'm gonna get this bolt in first. All right, and what I'm gonna do here is snug that bolt up. I'm not gonna tighten it up, just wanna bring it up just enough so the starter don't move around, so I can start the threading of that top bolt. All right, let's go to this bolt in here and try to get some threads to grab on here. And nope, it's not. That means I tightened this up a little bit too much. Okay. There we go. All right. I got it in by a few threads. Now I gotta sit here with my hand and bring this one in as much as I can. And that's gonna be fun. All right, be right back, guys. All right, guys, I got that brought in much as I can by hand. Now, I got my reversible Torx B14 with my swivel head ratchet. Now I'm gonna have to go here. And you can see I can only turn just a little bit. Perfect. Man, that one went a lot better going in there. Now, get my 6-inch extension. Same B14 socket. Somewhere some come called a B14 and some says E14. I don't know. What the heck? Let's go down here. Tighten this one up. Perfect. Go over here. Take off our 13mm nut with a lock washer. This is definitely a challenging job. Siffy.
Yeah.
Put this on, isn't it? You better acknowledge me.
It's a... OMG, is he for real?
Dang it.
It's a nuisance.
Alright. Okay, let's see if that's a 13mm. Now I'm tightening it up, guys. You don't want to over tighten it, and you're gonna mess up that starter solenoid. So what you want to do is just turn it till it stops, and a little bit more. That's it. We got the lock washer to hold it into place. Now let's get our plug for our starter connected. Done. Let's get ready to put this stuff back together. Be right back. All right, guys. The next thing we do is put this intake back. Now the first thing we do is get a rag and let's wipe off where the intake goes at. This is a brand new gasket up here, so we're not even worried about that. And remember this harness right here that's going to go through the intake. So let me get a rag and wipe this off, and then we're going to start lowering our intake in there. You see I pushed this to the side over here, and hopefully it gives us enough room to get that in there. I should actually disconnect that fuel line, so in that way disconnecting that fuel line just might, so it won't be in the way. I mean, and it's pretty easy. That's all I have to do is push this in. Let me get over here for a minute. And you probably don't have to do this. Push that, I push the line up, push that in, and I should be able to unplug it. Guess not. Guess I'm gonna have to do this the hard way. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to just, there it is. All right, so that's gonna be a lot easier for us just to put that to the side. And now we got that space to go in there. All right, so let's get a rag, wipe this off, and get this intake down there. We'll be right back. All right, guys, got me a nice clean paper towel. You don't have to use no abrasions or nothing like you see. As you can see, it's pretty much cleaning it just by wiping it off with paper towels. All right, let's wipe the intake off a little bit. All right, let's get this up there. All right, we're gonna start lowering it down. We got our hose over here that we know goes over there. This one, I don't need that. Okay. Now, while we're down here, we got those two wires somewhere that's got to go through the intake. Where the heck did they go?
There's something here.
No. Where the heck are those? Dang it, gotta pick this thing up again. No, that's not it.
This is one. No, this.
Huh?
That right there.
No. I mean the wiring harness that goes to here.
Oh.
Oh, here it is, right over here, guys. Gotta put this over here. All right. So, let's get this going through the intake so we don't mess that up. Let's get our intake lined up with the studs and all. And it's down. But
didn't you have to hook up that thing?
what thing?
The thing that goes behind the throttle body.
Yeah, well, actually, I can see it right here now. Because now it's a lot easier to hook on because I can just push it on now. It's either difficult to disconnect. So we're good with that. And we're going to have to connect that in a minute. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me get some gloves on, guys, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, next thing we're going to do, we're going to be bolting this up with our harness and the vacuum line. But first, we're going to pick up our vacuum line over here. And you can see that? You can see it right here. And we're going to push that on until it locks into place. That's done. Now, we got two screws. And what I did, I'm taking my T30 Torx, a little piece of paper towel to keep the screws into place, and get this thing bolted up just by the two screws. And of course, you know, this thing, it's not going to be easy. As soon as I can get it just started by a couple threads, and I had to get the magnet and get that other one out, get that tightened up, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do is go over here. Let's connect this big vacuum line going to the valve cover. And that's all I have to do, just put it up there and push it forward till it snaps right into place. That is done. Now while we're over here, let's get our fuel line back over here. And that's all we have to do is push this on till it snaps into place. Done. Let's get our T25 screw out of here. Put this back into place. Alright, and let's tighten that up. Be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do, we got our harness coming up through here. Let's connect that back. And it goes, put it back in the looms. Make it look nice and professional. there, down there, done. Oil pressure switch, let's connect that back. Good. Alternator plug. Well, we got a couple of plugs. Let's go to the mass airflow. That's that. Okay, here we go. Plug our alternator back up. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. All right, the next thing we do, let's get our bolts and bolt down the intake. Be right back. All right, we got our 4 bolts and 3 nuts. Let's go in there, put them in. And you want to start them off by hand to make sure they're not going down cross-threaded or anything. It doesn't matter which bolts go in first, but it does matter which ones, how we tighten them up. I have to move the intake a little bit. Definitely, guys, make sure you screw these things in by hand. Make sure you're grabbing on by at least 4 or 5 threads to make sure you're not cross-threading them. Alright, now what we're going to do is get our cordless drill with our 11mm socket with 4-inch extension. And to tighten this up, you want to start from the center and then work your way out. That's just in case the plastic is kind of warped or anything. You're not tightening it up like this. And if you tighten it up from the outsides first and go in, by the time it gets to the inside, there might be a gap right there and cause an air leak. So you got to tighten up from the center and work your way out. Like you're working with some dough or something. Let's go in there.
And you know what it's like to work with dough.
I do. All right, let's get those tightened up and we'll be right back. All right, guys, once you do that, you want to just go over this just slightly. So we're going to start from the center again. And I got my 11mm socket, and I got a 2-foot 3/8 drive extension. That way you don't have to bend over too much. And by making sure these are tight, that's all you want to do is go till this. If you're doing this by hand instead of the cordless, just go till it stops and just a little bit more. That's it. Till it stops and a little bit more. And these are torqued down perfectly. When you heard the when I was tightening it up with the gun, and you heard the gun go, brrr, that's a torque setting. So that's what I like about those cordless guns. You can set it to a torque, and it won't over tighten. This is good. All right, I'm gonna finish tightening these up, and we'll be right back. Okay, now that we got all the vacuum lines hooked up down here and the wiring harness, the next thing we're gonna do is install the throttle body. Now make sure you got everything connected back there, and let's lower our throttle body down. And it's held on by the 4 10mm bolts. All bolts are the same. Make sure, now check this out. This is a good thing, guys. Now if you look at this throttle body, look at the gasket. See how the gasket is sticking up? And I should have showed you that on the intake. You see how the gasket is sticking up? That goes to show you that's a good gasket. That's almost a brand new gasket. Had that gasket been flat, flush with the throttle body, we would definitely have to replace that. So let's go in here. Make sure your gasket stays into place. Get one bolt lined up. Again, turn it by a few threads by hand so it's not cross-threaded. And then go over here to another one. And let's get the final 2 in. Be right back. All right, guys, we're ready to tighten this up. And I'm gonna do a different. I'm gonna use something different here to tighten this up. What I'm using in my 10mm swivel 3/8 drive socket with my 2-foot 3/8 drive extension and my 3/8 drive ratchet. That way it gets in there. And watch what I do here. The only thing I'm gonna do is bring it in until it just stops, just barely stops. And we'll go around to the next one. Do the same thing. And then once we get all of them in there, and that way we want to make sure that throttle body is going flush. Make sure nothing's in the way. Line it great. Now on this one, I'm gonna go till it tightens up, till it stops. And then a little bit more. That's it. That's all you need to do. Because you will strip that, not the metal out, that metal, there's a metal insert that's stuck into the plastic, that's like welded into the plastic. And if you tighten up too much, you're gonna strip it right out. So just till it stops, and a little bit more. All right, let's get the others done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get right to it. If you're up to this point already by following this video, I'm proud of you. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's get to it. Next thing we're gonna do, let's go over here, hook up got our positive cable. It was going to this little clip over here. So let's go over there, and we just snap that into place. Map sensor, here's our connector right here. Let's plug that in till it clicks. Done. Let's go over here to our harness. Then this one was already broken, remember that one? But this one wasn't, and it snapped back into place actually, so I gotta get a screwdriver and open that back up. Let's open that back up, and this one went into there, and about there, say. Oh yeah, I can see where the marking was, right about there. Okay, snap that back into place if it lets me. All right, that's great. Let's go over here to the two wire connectors that went up into here. Just slide from the bottom, snap into place. Snap into place, that's good. Don't forget, down here, the throttle body. What you left for? Just plug that up till it snaps. Perfect. Look around, make sure everything is good. Before we start on our party line and putting everything back, let's see now. This right here. No, actually the air cleaner was up under this, so we gotta leave that alone to last. And this goes to the mass airflow sensor. So, all right, guys, let's start getting stuff on the party line. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are ready. Got to the party line. The next thing is that we got this the top engine cover. But before we do that, we got a little vacuum hose. We want to make sure we connect this, because if we connected this thing would have been leaking like crazy. So we put that on till it snaps into place. Snapped into place over there. Now let's get our engine cover. Put our engine cover on. Now we're gonna have to pick this little piece up right here. Slide it up under there. And we got 4 bolts. We got 2 bolts that was in the front, 5mm hex. Put those on. And on the back, what I'm gonna use is 2 8mm bolts. I'll put one right there. And one over here. So let's get our socket and all. We're gonna tighten this up. We'll be right back. All right, got my 5mm hex. Let's go in here. And these guys, these are not super tight. That's all you gotta do is bring it down. I mean, it's just plastic. It's just a cover. Let's switch it up. Get my 8mm deep. And go back here and tighten these up. Perfect. All right, next thing we're gonna do is get our air cleaner. We'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get our 2 30mm bolts. Millimeter. All right. You funny. All right, let's set our air cleaner assembly down, and you got this little piece right here to make sure it lines up. It goes up right inside that. It's like a slot. You see a slot on both sides.
What happens if it don't?
Nothing really. It's just a sucking air.
Why are you telling us to make sure?
Because that's where it belongs.
Okay.
There we go.
Hey, I think there was some underneath you need to pull out. underneath.
What is she talking about?
That was getting stuck underneath.
It wasn't, you know.
I should have just let you sit there and suffer when you were looking for that plug.
Should have.
Yeah.
See, now look at you. Now you got me.
Oh, yeah.
Got me all combobulated here.
Yep. It's not in right.
Yeah, I see that. What the heck? Oh, okay. Down there on the... What I'm trying to do here, guys, is inside here. That's where that gotta fit. So I'm getting kind of stuck on that. But don't worry, though. There we go. Let's hold that in place and try to get that bolt started. Yeah, buddy.
You're funny.
All right, got one. The second one over here. All right. T30, let's tighten them up. Perfect. All right. Next on the product line is the other part of the air cleaner. Let's switch sides.
Don't tell me where to stand.
All right. Now this clamp over here was kind of difficult to get to. So can I turn this clamp? Heck no, they don't let me turn this clamp. So let's get this over here like this. Where's our plug for our mass airflow?
Oh, now you're looking for it. Yeah.
All right. Let's make sure.
What I should be saying.
Make sure it's on that throttle body. Good.
What happens if it's not?
Then this thing will run like so raggedy. Let's plug this up just so we don't forget.
Don't forget.
Okay, now let's hook up our air cleaner. And our air cleaner hooks up down there. We gotta hook our tabs in place in there. Is that one in? And then bring it down. And then we go up here and latch it up. Perfect.
And then down there.
Oh, dang it. Dang it, thing came out. Because listening to Sylvia. Okay. Okay, next we go over here. Our vacuum port, vacuum line over here.
You got a lot of vacuum lines.
It does, so you gotta be very careful because this thing will run raggedy. Put that in there. Push it until it snaps into place. Lock the clip in over here. Done. Now we gotta get our 6mm and go down here and we gotta tighten up this clamp. Make sure this clamp is tight. All right, so let's get that and we'll be right back. All right, guys, now we got a little bar going across here. Bar on, and we got this little clip. Remember this held onto the positive battery terminal. Lock that into place, and if we want, we can go ahead and snap this on. And we got our 4 T45 screws. Actually, these are like bolts as well. Put them in, start them by hand. Here, and Sylvie gonna put that one in.
I don't get paid enough for that.
All right, once you get that done, lock it down. All right, we're gonna tighten the other two, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, now we're ready to put our cabin air filter assemblies back in place. Set them down. Remember, you got this little piece over here that sets into that little hole over there.
Can't see. Your arm was in the way.
You see how she already? Like, dang it. I'm just trying to do my job. All right. Set that down into place. Make sure it's nice and even. And then you're going to have your 13 millimeter, like I told you before. And you got to turn these counterclockwise till they stop. And that locks it right into place. Got that done. Next, we got a little clip over here, this piece that goes over here. Stick that in there. Locks into place, just like that. This is coming out great. Last piece, you got your 5 tabs right here. They go into those 5 slots. Hook them in, push it down, bring the latch over, lock it into place. Bring our wiring harness across, plug it up. 1, 2. Let's move on to the next side. Be right back. All right, guys, let's get this one in. And we're gonna put this back to where it's supposed to be. Yeah, piece broken. Put this down into place. Bring it down till it lines up. Take our 13 millimeter, and you're gonna go clockwise. Okay. And you're just going clockwise till it stops. And this one up here. So somebody must have had this one off and didn't put it in. Yeah, now we're tight. Now we're up there. This one don't have the air cleaner right there, the cabin air filter right there, but it does have this. So I'm gonna go over here.
Nobody complain, all right? It's already been ordered.
Nobody.
You know how people be commenting, well, you should put that back in. You should get that. Yeah. It's coming.
Yep. All right. Then we got our piece over here that holds them two into place. Just push it down, push it forward, clips into place. Done. Last but not least is our weather stripping. Just throw it up there like that. Bring it in. Oh, look at this. See somebody had this up. Look at this thing all bent. These guys, that's supposed to be inside there, guys. Locked into place. Bring it around to the other side.
You can go around me.
All right, guys. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go connect back the negative terminal. Then we're gonna start the car. Be right back. All right, guys. Forgot one more thing. Got these two 25 T25 screws right here. Just holding that down. Then let's put those in. Then we're gonna go back there and connect the battery. Be right back. All right, guys. Let's get our negative terminal up here. Connect it. 10 millimeter. Tighten it up. And don't go super tight on this. Just tight enough. That's it. Great.